Hola a todos, what's up everybody? My name is Pablo Roa and I'm the Senior Manager of Video here at Indivisible. Thank you so much for tuning into the second episode of our brand new series, Indivisible Weekly. Now, we launched a series last week and we are super excited about it. You can check out episode 1 right here. And in case you missed it, this series will basically be your one-stop shop to find out everything you need to know about what's going on throughout the Indivisible movement. I want to thank those of you who did get a chance to check out episode 1 last week. A whole bunch of you reached out to us on social media and in the comments to let us know how excited you are about this series. And I just want to say we are so thankful for your support and we hope you'll subscribe and continue to tune into our channel every week for a new episode. And keep reaching out to us. Talk to us on Facebook, Twitter, leave a comment below. Let us know what you think of this episode, or if there's anything you want us to talk about in next week's episode, let us know too. Remember, this is your show. We want to hear from you. Now, we have a lot to cover in this week's episode. As of today, we are officially 105 days away from the general election. 105 days. That means that the next time you see me, we will be less than 100 days away from the November 3rd election. Now, that might sound a little scary, but it's also exciting. That means that in 105 days, we can literally change the world. We can put a decisive end to the Trump presidency and kick Mitch McConnell out of office and take his Senate majority too. And once we're in power, we'll be able to fight for some of the most progressive legislation this country has ever seen. But for any of that to happen, we need to win and we need to put in the work. And I don't think I need to tell any of you all how high the stakes are. I mean, we are seeing the consequences of this administration every single day with the coronavirus pandemic. And things are only getting worse. Just this past weekend, we saw over 120,000 new cases of COVID-19. We've now had 42 days in a row where the 7-day average of cases is trending upwards. And don't forget, over 50 million people have filed for unemployment since the pandemic began. And you know how this president likes to talk about America leading? Well, we are leading in all the wrong ways. We're leading the world with over 140,000 deaths from the coronavirus. And we're also leading with over 3.7 million infections. Meanwhile, what has this president done? He bragged about slowing down testing. He ridiculed masks for months, even though we know they're incredibly effective at slowing the spread of the pandemic. And make no mistake, Mitch McConnell and his Republican friends in the Senate have enabled each and every one of Trump's terrible decisions in his handling of the pandemic. Take the HEROES Act, for example. House Democrats passed the HEROES Act 70 days ago, and it's been sitting on Mitch McConnell's desk ever since. We need to pass the HEROES Act to protect our elections, keep people on payrolls, give financial aid to those who need it, and make sure everyone is included in COVID relief efforts, including immigrants. This is unacceptable. People are dying, and Mitch McConnell and the president continue to play politics with their lives. But it's not hopeless. We can do something about it. In fact, Indivisibles are doing something about it. This Thursday, Indivisibles around the country are calling their senators to demand that they pass the HEROES Act right now and include $3.6 billion in election funding. And you can get involved too. Click the link in the description below and we'll connect you with your senators so that you can make your voice heard. This is so important. Not only does our public health depend on passing the HEROES Act, but our democracy is at stake too. We need you to make these calls on Thursday. Now, unfortunately, the coronavirus and Senate Republicans are not the only threats to our democracy right now. We have all been paying very close attention to the horror coming out of Portland, where federal agents have been terrorizing peaceful protesters, picking them up off the street, drenching them in tear gas, and throwing them in unmarked vans. These tactics, which, by the way, CBP and ICE have been using for years at the border, aren't just wrong. They are fascist. Under the racist guise of law and order, the Trump administration is literally using fascist tactics to suppress peaceful protesters in Portland. And who knows where they'll do it next. Now, despite these violent authoritarian tactics from the Trump administration, peaceful protesters in Portland and around the country continue to show up every single day to fight for Black lives. But we have to do something to put an end to this administration's gross abuse of power before it continues to get out of hand. And once again, we can do something about it. Later this week, the Senate will vote on the National Defense Authorization Act, or NDAA, and we are demanding that the bill include an amendment offered by Oregon Senators Jeff Merkley and Ron Wyden, which would prevent federal agents from entering these local jurisdictions unless they're invited. And if they are invited, they would be required to be clearly identifiable while on the job. It's hard to believe we're at a point where we need legislation to prevent us from falling into a fascist police state, but here we are. And once again, we need you. We need you to call your senators and demand that the NDAA include the Merkley-Wyden-Portland Amendment. And if it doesn't, they need to vote against it. This has to stop. And in some more troubling yet unsurprising news, President Trump said this weekend that he might not accept the results of the 2020 election, which, again, shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone. I mean, the man does not care about the Constitution or anything really other than maintaining his own power. Fortunately, we have a plan to protect the results of the election. We are building a coalition of voters that will be ready to mobilize if Trump refuses to accept the results of the November 3rd election. And we need you to be a part of it. Visit protecttheresults.com right now to sign up and help save our democracy from the enormous threat that is Donald Trump. You know, day after day, week after week, we are seeing the Trump administration continue to chip away at our democracy, at our norms, our institutions, our laws, and they're also trying to chip away at us, at our spirit, our hope, our commitment to fight for change this November and beyond. But every single day, this movement is showing that we are so much stronger than President Trump thinks we are. From the protesters in Portland and around the country who continue to fight for Black lives, to our essential workers who are putting their lives on the line to fight this ruthless pandemic, even though their government doesn't have their back. To all of you who are sending texts and making phone calls and organizing your friends and family, we are so much stronger than this president thinks we are. And it's inspiring. It's inspiring each and every day. But it's especially inspiring right now as we continue to mourn and celebrate the life of legendary Congressman John Lewis, who passed away last Friday. John Lewis was an American hero, a giant among men who carried the cause of racial justice on his shoulders, from Selma to the March on Washington to the halls of Congress, and fought for that cause until his dying breath. John Lewis reminded us with his words and with his actions that we cannot get lost in a sea of despair, that we have to be optimistic, that we have to be hopeful, and yes, that we have to be willing to get into good trouble when necessary. We will continue to honor the life of John Lewis with actions every single day to the election and beyond, and we know you'll do the same. Thanks so much for tuning into our second episode of Indivisible Weekly. Don't forget to check out the description below. We have lots of useful links for exciting ways that you can get involved this week, including a very important anti-racism and allyship live stream that we're hosting along with our friends over at Move On and some other progressive organizations this Thursday night. We're also hosting a couple of text bank trainings this week that we hope you'll take advantage of to help get you ready to get involved this election cycle. Thanks again for watching Indivisible Weekly. Be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, share this episode with your friends and family, and check back here next week for a brand new episode of Indivisible Weekly. Thanks everyone, take care, and I'll see you next week. Adios.